Okay, I have been absolutely unapologetic about the insanity that we've seen from Candace Owens regarding the Charlie Kirk situation, but I think the rabbit hole goes much deeper than that. When you see this unholy alliance between the Tucker Carlsons, the Candace Owens, and I would argue the Nick Fuentes as well, who went on Patrick Bet-David's podcast, and he thinks that is Israel and Jews are a bigger threat to American democracy than radical Islam. I think there's something that may be happening here. I'm not making the claim that they're agents of disinformation. I'm not saying they're being funded by Qatar, because somebody will then tell me, "Hey, Ruslan, are you getting the $7,000 check from Israel?" I'm not. Never received a dime from Israel. Okay, but it's interesting to see Islamicists, radical Muslims, or I would just say folks that are practically living out Islam, walking out the basic tenets of Islam, because not all Muslims do that, by the way, but living out the basic tenets of Islam, celebrating Tucker Carlson, celebrating Candace Owens, celebrating these folks on what we call the woke right, and saying that now they've been persuaded. Is there something going on here? Is there some weird funding? Is there some elite Muslims that are perhaps sowing this sort of Western disinformation, and folks just completely caping for Islam? I don't know. But I wanted to share this with you guys. You guys let me know what you think. So this is a Muslim commentator named Sami Hamdi. He is doing a tour all over celebrating Tucker Carlson, celebrating Candace Owens, and just the amazing allies they are to the jihadi cause.
Celebrate the victory. Allah has shown the world that no normalization can erase the Palestinian cause. When you got the news that it happened, how many of you felt the euphoria? Allah, how many of you felt it?
Can social media also, can it wrongly skew a narrative?
Now, Candace Owens, she said on the Piers Morgan show, I was on the Zionist side. Let's not forget this. For years, social media completely transformed my perspective on what's happening in Israel and Palestine.
Who were the people posting on social media? It was you. Where did she hear the dawah from? The dawah was from you.
The dawah is their form of evangelism, if you guys didn't know. It is how they persuade and manipulate people to their framework. And so Candace Owens, who isn't the brightest thinker, is saying that it was social media that persuaded her. There's only one issue. Social media often gives a very distorted sense of reality. So that is what persuaded her. And they're saying, yeah, we intentionally fought the social media war. We intentionally use disinformation and social media to manipulate people.
I was astonished how quickly the narrative after October the 7th became anti-Israel and very pro-Palestinians, stroke Hamas in many cases.
You want to amplify that?
As a result of TikTok and social media and the like, people's hearts are genuinely flipping. Candace Owens,
what are your views on Islam? How's it going in the UK? Those are my views. Their views are that Western civilization is corrupted. Hi, American Muslim fan here. In the spirit of friendship between our faiths, here's an excerpt from the Quran. I think all of us are real life.
It's crazy. You go from like, how's it going in Europe to like reading excerpts from Islam, from the Quran on your show. That's man, that is a different level of, I don't even know. I don't know if it's called grifting or what it is, but it is wild.
Saying the tremendous need for true faith right now.
The Quran
The tremendous need for true faith right now.
told you Tucker's heart can be flipped.
Our belief is that the Islamist movement, this is an existential threat to the Western way of life. I really believe that. You know what Islam means? Submission.
It's complete flip-flop. Complete flip-flopper, man.
I don't think I would get that.
Marjorie Green Taylor, one of the nastiest Islamophobes that you can come across in America.
Anyone that is a Muslim that believes in Sharia law does not belong in our government.
She's now one of the loudest advocates against Zionism.
Israel is a foreign government that has been meddling not only in campaigns and elections, but also meddling in government policy.
It has power. It shifted an entire U.S. foreign policy.
A war with Iran is a world war.
By the way, what happened to that world war? What happened to boots on the ground in Iran? What happened to all that stuff that was going to happen and people claim was going to happen that never happened when America helped strike the Iranian nuclear facilities? What happened to that? There was no world wars, no troops on the ground. Interesting.
Looking at Tucker Carlson saying we shouldn't get involved.
I think we're going to see the end of American empire. Obviously, other nations would like to see that, and this is a perfect way to scuttle the USS America on the shores of Iran.
Candace Owens, we shouldn't get involved.
I do believe that if war in Iran is on the agenda, and that appears so, Get dishonorably discharged. Who cares?
Marjorie
Get dishonorably discharged. Who cares? Who cares? My gosh.
Taylor agreed. We're entering a nuclear war, the World War III. It stopped Trump from intervening in Iran itself. Because we decided to tweet about it, because we decided to show up, because we decided to do that one last.
Spin it as necessary, as a necessary response to October 7th. That takes somebody that is something other than human.
So I look and I think, I can't believe Tucker Carlson said that. I can't believe Candace Owens said that.
It is not my business to affect a regime change in Iran. If we're going to get behind a regime change, it should be in Israel first.
It's not her business to affect regime change in Iran, but like, let's do it to Israel. Let's get a regime change in Israel. You can't make this stuff up, man. You can't make this stuff up. This is amazing.
America's supporting Israel because it's an ally. They both
I don't know what that means to be an ally. Qatar is like one of our closest allies in the world. They're
Israel's not an ally, but Qatar is one of our biggest allies in the world. Is this your king? Is this your king? Goodness gracious.
Close ally of ours.
Raise your voice and watch how I flip the hearts. Raise your voice for Gaza. Watch how Candace Owens starts defending Gaza.
I have recognized that the ability to see this stuff every day has transformed my opinion.
Raise your voice. Watch how I make Tucker Carlson say we need to cut funding for the Zionists.
Floating the whole thing to the tune of many, many billions. It's not 3 billion a year. It's tens of billions.
Raise your voice. Watch how I make American society flip from pro-Zionist to pro-Palestine.
First time ever in which more Americans sympathize with Palestinians over the Israelis. Truly extortion.
That's crazy, by the way. That's crazy. Now, I'm not going to say Israel is without fault here. I've been critical of Israel fairly consistently. I've been critical on some of their missteps, mistakes, whatever you want to call it, in how they've handled Gaza. But that is not just Israel making mistakes and fumbling some stuff. That's a radical, it's a 49-point change. Folks going from supporting and being sympathetic to Israel to not, and being more sympathetic to the Palestinian people.
That's all of the blame. They always want to blame Israel. Zionism has brought us nothing but grief in America. We are aware of these operations that you're running and constantly blaming it on Muslims, radical Muslims.
Well, the Muslim population of the West is rising very quickly, and that has implications for social cohesion or national security. I'm not Muslim. I'm not for Sharia law. On the other hand, compared to what? Compared to Baltimore? Shut up. Sharia law. They're claiming that Hamas is a group of jihadis. I don't know if that's true, by the way.
I don't know if it's that. I don't know if that's true. If someone shows you who they are, maybe you should believe them.
like a political organization.
That makes Israel the master of the universe. And that's troubling.
May Allah protect and preserve TikTok and elevate its status. Gulu Amin.
Oh, man. So, listen, I don't know if these people are agents of disinformation, agents that are funded by Qatar, funded by some of these Muslims. I don't know if they're just dumb. I don't know. But what I do know is that there seems to be a distortion in thinking that you can't hold two things in tension. That, radical Islam, or Islam to its logical conclusion, not all Muslims, but radical Islam to its logical conclusion, is a massive net negative to the world and to society. At the same time, Israel can also have some issues, and Benjamin Netanyahu, someone I'm not a big fan of, can have some issues, and I don't think we should just give Israel a blank check. Both things can be true at the same time. But when it comes to what is the biggest existential threat to the West, I don't think it's even close. And they're showing you the playbook. They're showing you the playbook. They're telling you exactly what they attempted to do, how they did it, how they sowed this via social media and TikTok, how people that don't know how to process information that, this is a war. Wars are awful. Wars are terrible. But in context of other wars, all things considering, this isn't the worst thing that's ever happened. America did way worse than Iraq and Afghanistan, and I was against those wars as well. World War II, Vietnam, all of these are horrific situations. War is hell. And I'm going to do a deeper video on all of this. If you guys are interested, let me know in the comment section. I'd love to hear from you guys. But what do you guys think? You guys think Tucker's completely gone off the rocker with regards to platforming and celebrating and doing softball interviews with Nick Fuentes, or do you think this is based? And if, by the way, if your view of the world starts with the fill in the blank, run everything, the Jews, the blacks, the immigrants, and on the same token, the Muslims, right? Because I don't think it's just anyway. I think it's ideologies that are harmful, and you're going to see it. You're going to see it sprout up. You're going to see the weeds grow, and oftentimes the weeds grow amongst the good fruit. And so that's what we're seeing with Tucker. I think everybody's kind of acknowledges that Candace Owens is pretty off her rocker, especially after the Charlie Kirk assassination. I think people were looking at Nick Fuentes, you know, the way Tucker Carlson described him, little gay kid who's very confused on his own identity and is just angry. He's in the rage stage. But Tucker, I think, is treading in some really dark territory. I'm not going to jump out and say he's anti-Zionist, but he does seem very pro-Muslim all of a sudden. Where is that coming from? Anyway, I want to know from you guys. Let me know what you think in the comment section, all right? Leave it below. I'll see you next time. Peace.